Howdy, my name is Matt Burns. Today is May 12th, 2025, and it is currently 1:34 Eastern something time. So today I got a call around 10 in the morning. Got officially kicked out of the band that I'm in. That's alright. But I wanted to make a video just about letting go of everything that was going on. So about 3 months ago, that must be for me. 3 months ago, what I called the official start of the process happened. 3 months ago, my bandmates met with me. We got coffee, and they kind of just aired out a bunch of laundry that involved me being in the band and stuff. And basically, long story short, I wasn't as good as everybody else in the band, so that's fair. There were some other things, but those things don't matter. The ultimate thing is that 2 out of the 3 core members of the band, which I was not one of the core members, thought that I couldn't hang, and so they wanted me to do something about it, and they wanted to give me time to do something about it. So they gave me 3 months, and they gave me like detailed lists of things that I needed to do, one of which being join another band in time for the re-audition, which was supposed to be May 5th, and I'll get to that. But they laid out a lot of stuff moving forward and told me the things they didn't like. So this has kind of been building up for a while. About 2 years ago, I had initially been the lead singer of the band for about a year. I was not the original lead singer. They had me fill in for somebody else who had left the band. And basically they thought that I gave it my all, and they knew I was a good musician, but they didn't think I fit the lead vocal part, which is fine. And they initially wanted me to try to find another role in the band. So they found a role for me as an accessory guitar player. And initially, I think everyone was really on board for that and wanted me in that role and to also sing backup vocals, which I was good at. But I think as things changed in people's lives, the guitarist had a kid, the drummer bought a house, things were just going on, a lot of changes happened. I didn't really pick up my guitar quality in time to service the band very well. It's been about 2 years, and I really hadn't gotten much better at the guitar in the first year and a half of playing for the band, and it started to be where I was like barely on any songs, and I wasn't good enough to service myself. If I wanted to do anything with the band in guitar terms, I would need to meet with the guitarist, and he just had a baby, so it would be pretty tough for us to find time. And so I think it sort of just festered, and like I was kind of just there for a long time. And so I understand why they wanted me to get better. But my response to all this situation was they'd given me about 100 days, about 3 months to work on everything. And in that time, I started taking guitar lessons from somebody new. And I took 2 lessons a week, 45-minute lesson twice a week. And during the week, I would practice about 2 hours a day, somewhere between 2 and 2.5 hours. Sometimes it was probably a little less, but that's about the average, is probably 2 hours a day. And I played music all my life. I play a lot of different instruments, and I've played a lot of different instruments in my life. The problem has really been getting to one instrument and being like elite at that instrument. I've always been good at a lot of instruments, but never elite. And I think I really needed to step up to close to elite category to continue servicing the band. So in that time, I practiced all that time, but I really wasn't actually sure if I wanted to rejoin the band come May 5th. And as I said earlier, one of the stipulations for me to rejoin the band was to join another band. Probably it'd be pretty hard to find one that was as talented skill-wise as the band I was in. So they wanted me to find somewhere where I could be a little bit more of a leader, and then maybe a little bit more was on my plate, and I had room to screw up and mess up, or room to be, the best and carry some other musicians. But I myself had some hesitancy to join another band prior to knowing if I was going to still be in this band, mostly from a time perspective, but also like I knew I was going to go through this guitar boot camp, and so I didn't know if I wanted to like wait till the end, because there were a lot of bands that I probably could have gone out for if I had done this boot camp sort of thing, and I just didn't know where I would fit, and I really didn't know what I would want artistically, so it just wasn't a good decision for me to make to join another band in that time period. So because of me not joining the other band, well, I'll get to it. A couple weeks ago, so at the end of April, I was cutting some apples, cut my fingertip off. It's very slight, you can barely tell now. But, it was my fingertip, my middle finger in my left hand, which is very difficult to play guitar with when you have a pretty bad fingertip injury there. So I needed to take a couple weeks off. And so I messaged the core people in the band about, hey, like, I'm not going to be able to do it because, I hurt my finger. And also I haven't joined the other band. And there was no chance I was going to join another band if I can't audition for another band anyways. But because of that, the band didn't want me to re-audition for them. And that's kind of where I want to spur all this stuff off of. I have listed down in my sort of journaling thing here. I have that some of the conclusions I came to about my guitar playing and myself and just everything that I gained from this guitar boot camp. I made some extreme guitar improvement. I mean, I played 2 hours a day. I'm a skilled musician, and I just need to apply these skills more directly to guitar or whatever I'm trying to get really, really good at. And I did that on the guitar, and I got way, 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 way better in about 3 months' time. I feel really good about it. I'm not where I would have needed to be probably to do my best in the band. I would have still needed some help. But I think any amount of time that I would have spent in a 3-month span would have still necessitated that. So I wasn't really worried about that, and that wasn't really something I was trying to achieve. But yeah, I played, I hurt my finger, and I failed to meet the band's requirements for me to rejoin again, so they didn't actually hear me play again, which is whatever. It's their prerogative, But I kind of wanted to talk about the takeaways from all of this and how I'm sort of compartmentalizing it in my brain, because I think it's important for, they say like band breakups are sometimes like, real people breakups, and I can understand how some of those things are connected, and I can understand how in my own real breakup that I've had before that I didn't really treat myself in this way. My number one takeaway was that I did all I could within reason. I work full-time. I probably work over full-time. Granted, my daytime job allows me to have the time to do this practice. I practice almost all my time at the workplace I'm at during the day. I'm extremely lucky. I have an easy daytime job. It does not pay a lot, but it pays, and it's a daytime job, and I can practice during a lot of it. So I did improve drastically, both in my playing, but I also listed here my self-reflection. So not only did I have to take the critiques from the band and be honest with myself about them and know where I needed to be, but that helped me get better at looking at my own self, whether it's outside music or whatever, and really assess, what am I doing? There are so many things I want to be good at. Am I doing all the things to actually be good at them? And most importantly, am I scheduling it into my day? Am I building a day around doing the things that I want to do and being good at the things I want to be good at? So that was a huge step from this process. One of the other issues I put down here is that the band's issues with me being in the band were not just like playing, like, are you skilled enough? Yes, it was a lot of that. But also I think that there were, I wasn't providing for a long time. And I think that there were other ways I was providing, like bringing people to the shows, connecting with people. I was sort of a mouthpiece for the band, but I wasn't really a good player, at least not in the context of the band. And so I can understand how there would be some sort of resentment from the bandmates towards me, because they're like, I'm like being this mouthpiece, and really I'm not doing shit up on stage. And I could understand how that would be, for some people, it'd be annoying. So, I have another thing here, that the weight is off my shoulders from being in the band, because, like, this has been going on a long time. Like, I've been in the band 3 years. I really haven't done much from a musical perspective for the last 2 years. That's a long time. It's a lot of shows to be taking money from them. Granted, I was getting a lot of people to the shows, or I was booking the shows, which is, the flip side of the coin. But, like, I was still there being part of the band when I really wasn't feeling like part of the band, and they weren't feeling that way either. So I have the weight is off my shoulders, but a chip is there, and a chip on my shoulder has been put on. So I do want to spend, like, I have this easy day job for the next year and a half, maybe. In that time, I need to find out how I'm going to get another daytime job that allows me to do this stuff. I'm going to have to figure out how to get my lessons in order so that way I give enough lessons that I can be financially successful and in a place where I do have the free time during my day to maybe do something less financially, something that's going to make me less money, but maybe will allow me to do these things. Finally, I have grateful, but I am aware of the disagreement. So, like, I am grateful for what the band did. They really did not need to let me into this band. I was never really skilled enough to be in this band. I was skilled enough to learn some parts to play with the band and sound good with the band, which I think some of them don't believe. I believe that, and I believe that the best musician in the band, who I look up to the most, he believes that as well. It's the other two that don't. And so I don't agree with them. I know that I'm a solid musician, and I know that I need to get better at the guitar, but I know that I can play a part with them because I have, and I can do it. But yeah, so I'm trying to let all this go. I'm trying to make sure that I keep looking forward. I get really good at guitar, partially because these people, two of them, I don't think they believe I can. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who don't believe that I can, that have seen me play in the context of the group, but I would like to prove it to myself, and I'd like to prove it to them. Not out of spite. I think they're good guys. I just want to do it. Yeah, and that's, I would connect this more with my first relationship, but the long story short at least, is that in that relationship, I didn't have any of these positive takeaways. I just thought, they're telling me that I'm coming up short on these things. My ex-girlfriend telling me that I'm coming up short on these things, and I'm feeling bad for myself because I am trying really hard and I'm not getting anywhere. This time, I knew I tried my best. I really booked it into every single day of the week, and I did the thing that I needed to do, knowing that I might not get there in the end. But I did my best, I got a lot out of it, and I'm happy, and I feel good that I can move on. There's so much that I couldn't change that maybe would have helped me stay in the band or something, but I can't change those things. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to join another band, or start my own band, I'm going to rock out, and I'm going to take these lessons and move them forward with me. So, I hope if you're either going through a breakup, or just got kicked out of a band, or something, or maybe you just got fired from something, or something like that, I hope that maybe some of these thoughts can help you come up with some good thoughts about yourself. That's about it. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you the next time I post one of these videos. Bye-bye.